The Golden Age of Piracy is, by all means, an odd way of describing a period when naval travel was an extremely risky endeavor. The history of pirates is rife with action, both ashore and at sea. The truth about the pirates of this age is more disturbing and fascinating than the romanticized legends we watch on TV. Join us in this Liber-Tea episode as we look into one of the most infamous periods of naval history, the Golden Age of Piracy. Pirates have terrorized coastal inhabitants and voyagers for millennia. To date, they continue to plunder ships and shore and cause misery and devastation to the livelihoods and lives of the rich and poor. The body of myths and legends associated with pirates today is wrought around the lives of several desperate men and women who plied their illicit trade in a period known as the Golden Age of Piracy. According to historians, this period spans from 690 CE to 1730 CE. It was a period when thievery in colonial ports and the high seas reached unprecedented levels. The term Golden Age applies to pirates who conducted their business in the Caribbean, the Eastern Atlantic, the Indian Ocean, and the American East Coast. Some infamous personalities associated with this period include Mary Read, Anne Boney, Blackbeard, Captain Kidd, and Bartholomew Roberts. These individuals and their associates targeted treasure ships, which were surprisingly rare, well-armed, and merchant ships. For piracy to thrive, certain enabling conditions must exist. Many fateful occurrences preceded the Golden Age. For instance, the discovery of the Americas allowed marauders and looters to plunder Spanish ships laden with gold, silver, and other valuable items. Some colonial governors did not try to stop pirate activities, as they benefited immensely from the kickbacks they got from pirates. Some governors even issued privateering licenses to pirates to protect them from prosecution. As piracy was illegal in most European nations, as piracy became big business, pirate havens began to spring up. Apart from providing refuge, pirate havens had safe harbors and were stations where pirates could stock their ships with suppliers. The availability of traders who readily purchased loot also helped to spur the Golden Age and the development of pirate havens. Some of the most famous pirate havens included New Providence, Bahamas, Port Royal, Jamaica, and Madagascar, East Africa. Lastly, colonial governors did not have ships, men, or money to police the seas. The Golden Age was also ignited by pervasive unemployment during the era. Privateers who served in the navies, often of different conflicting nations, soon found themselves jobless as the nations edged towards detente. The two largest outbursts of piracy occurred after the Spanish Succession War and the 9 Years' War. During these wars, privateers were extremely valuable to navies, but were cast aside when the wars ended. They were left with no choice but to do what they were used to doing to survive. However, they did so without any limits to plundering and pillaging. Thus, Spanish, British, Dutch, and French merchant ships became their prime targets. However, the English pirate Captain Benjamin Hornigold overcame the urge to attack British ships. While some crew members rose to fame during the period, the names most associated with the period are those of captains. Additionally, while most pirates dressed like ordinary mariners, captains were wont to make fashion statements. Captain Bartholomew Roberts, for example, for adorning a scarlet silk coat, a diamond necklace, and a matching damask waistcoat. Captain Jack Rackham was a notorious swashbuckler and fashionista. Despite these men's colorful dressings, they were capable of turning into dastardly villains in the blink of an eye. There are those captains who gained infamy due to their brutality. Captain Edward Lowe, for instance, amassed a sizable list of despicable crimes, between 1721 and 1724, including hanging, mutilating, and burning his victims. While films and novels often depict pirates sailing large galleon-type vessels, in reality, Golden Age pirate ships were different. Many captains preferred sloops, which were highly maneuverable, fast, and those capable of sailing through shallow waters, which naval ships could not. However, some captains preferred large ships that could match lower-rated naval ships in firepower. It comes as no surprise that the most notorious and successful captains owned and operated the largest ships. Captain Kidd, for instance, sailed the Adventure Galley, a purpose-built 280-ton three-masted vessel. This vessel had a crew of 150 and was armed with 34 cannons. Captain Blackbeard's Queen Anne's Revenge is the most famous ship of the Golden Age, which had a crew of 340 cannons. Most captures of the period only brought a few coins, dry goods, and liquor. However, there are instances when captures were truly staggering. In 1695, Captain Henry Every captured the Ganji Iswai, a merchant vessel of the Mughal Emperor. Its cargo today would be worth close to $100 million. Wisely, Captain Every and his crew sailed to the horizon, never to be seen or heard from again. However, in 1721, Olivier Le Bouche and John Taylor found the biggest prize of the Golden Age. The two captains successfully boarded a Portuguese treasure vessel and recovered over $500,000 worth of gold, diamonds, and silver. Additionally, the ship had a cargo worth over $370,000. This plunder amounts to over $250 million in today's estimations. Piracy was always a dangerous undertaking. Many died during attacks, while others lost limbs. Two notable fictional pirate captains have propagated the idea of pirates lacking limbs: Treasure Island's Captain Long John Silver and Peter Pan's Captain Cook. In truth, while most pirates were leathery and weathered, few were old. The nature of piracy demanded that they be young men and women. Thank you for listening to this episode. We hope you have enjoyed and learned something new. Like, share, and subscribe to Liber-Tea for more.